I want to welcome all of you to a class that I believe will make a huge difference in the enjoyment of your life and the lives of your family. I want to talk to you about how you can stay young the first 100 years. Now, I already know what some of you are thinking. You're thinking, now wait just a minute. The title sounds catchy, but do I really need to know how to stay young for 100 years? This sounds pretty far-fetched and ambitious. Well, it's not really. You need to start thinking about what it means for you and your family to live a long time. Let's take a look at the facts. In 1900, the average lifespan was 49 years old. 49 years old. Now, there's no question that this was because many people died when they were very young. We didn't have the kind of cures, and we didn't provide the kind of health care that we provide today, but that's the point. Everybody's chance of living a long, healthy life was much less back then. And as a matter of fact, the average lifespan today is 77.6 years and growing. And in a recent study, scientists from the University of Texas reported on today's show that by the year 2050, there will be over 800,000 Americans over 100, and many will be living to 150. So what does that mean? It means your kids need to know how to stay young for 100 years before they're going to wonder how they're going to spend their inheritance, because you're probably going to live so long that they may be retired before they even get to your inheritance. So yes, this is a topic you and your family need to know about. If you're going to live 100 years, we need to make that long life to be a quality long life. We don't merely want to be able to exist on this planet. We want to be able to live, work, and play on this planet. We want to have a quality life. Now, we have a whole huge group of baby boomers that are moving into the over 50 phase of life, and we can see in large numbers what the effects of long life can be. Long life reveals that we will have some major areas of health concern after 50 if we don't do something before we are 50 to prevent those problems. These are areas that we have never seen before because we haven't had such large numbers reaching such a ripe old age. For example, we are continually being confronted with the devastation of the mental diseases like Alzheimer's. This disease didn't just start. We just see a lot more because dementia doesn't usually come on a person until they're about 70 years or older. And now that we realize that these chances are much greater that we will reach this age, we need to take some precautions to make sure we can still use our minds when we get to this age. We also see more of the importance of taking care of our skin. Old age has brought about a huge growth in cosmetic surgery. More and more people are trying to correct the wrinkle problems that come with growing older. But the biggest problem we see come about with the increased lifespan is the increase in musculoskeletal problems. In other words, your mobility function. The ability to move around like we used to. We have increased the odds of living past 80, and we have increased our life's activities, but we have not changed the way we take care of our spine. We're the first generation to witness the ramifications that long life creates. It reveals the areas of neglect, and now the stats show. The most common cause of functional disability in a person over 50 years old is spinal disorders. That's really important to know. How many of you are planning on living past 50? Alright, so how many do you think your family will live past 50 and will want them to live past 50? Alright, well, let's think about this for example. If your house was going to be broken into and somebody was going to steal all of your possessions, but I know who it was that was planning on doing it, and I also knew the time they were going to do it, and I told you about it, would you do something about it? Or would you just let it happen? Well, now I'm able to tell you what is going to rob you of your functional capacities and when it is going to happen. So are you going to do something about it, or are you just going to let it happen? Of course not. Let's prevent it. Just like we would prevent somebody from breaking in your home if we could. But I think we all agree we should work harder to prevent our health from being stolen and our ability to function than we would our possessions being stolen. Think about this for a second. If we lose our mobility at 65 and live to 105, that's 40 years of immobility and pain. So what has improved? Let's take a look at some areas of healthcare where we have already made some adjustments and improvements for our health. Look at the advancements we have made in tooth decay. We used to have many more cavities and loss of teeth in years past than we do now. We take so much better care of our teeth now with all the kinds of preventative care measures, and now our teeth last longer and cause us less pain. More and more people are also living with less wrinkles. That's right, there's about 465% increase in the number of people wanting to get rid of wrinkles just since 1997. 12 million people have had cosmetic adjustments last year to get rid of another ramification of getting older, wrinkles. And I'm all for us having longer lasting teeth and less wrinkles, but I think all of us can agree, if you can't move, a lack of mobility will make you look a lot older than crow's feet. And the only reason we respond to our teeth and wrinkles before our spine and joints is for one simple fact. If our spine were on our face, we would take better care of it. We don't wait till our teeth fall out before we take care of them, and we must not wait till our back goes out before we take care of it either. You take preventative steps to have pearly whites, and you must take preventative steps to have a good mobility, since the chances are absolutely huge that you will live 30 to 40 years past the age of 50. So why is this even important, or more important than your teeth? Because there's no such thing as a spine transplant. You can get a new set of teeth, and there are many other organs that can be replaced, but if you don't take care of your spine, there's no going back like you can with teeth. There is no crown or replacement. You just live with the pain. And don't forget, this isn't limited to back pain. You can't get a new neck either. 1 in every 3 people suffers today with neck pain past the age of 50. So let's see you raising hands here. How many of you would like to use your neck past the age of 50 without experiencing pain? Alright, it's a pretty big club. So if 1 out of every 3 have had back pain, or have had neck pain, and 85 out of 100 have had back pain, that is about as high as statistics as I would think anyone would want to see to be convinced that we need to do something preventative about this. But just in case you need a little more convincing, let's take a look at what will happen if you don't do anything preventative about this. What happens if we just kind of, let nature take its course? Well, take a look at its mobility scale. Now, the numbers on the bottom of the scale represent your age, and the numbers on the side of the scale represent your percentage of maximum mobility that you have. In other words, if you take a look at the graph, where you see the blue line, you can see that you reach 100% of mobility at the age of 23. Now, if you look at the blue line, it drops if we just let nature take its course. You can see here that you will lose about 50% of the mobility that you have had when you were 23 at age 50. And I'm sure that any of us around the age of 50 will testify that having about 50% of mobility when we were 23 is probably conservative. And now look how the graph continues to drop like a rock. By the time we are 60, we only have about 25% of mobility than when we were 23. And now the big question to this revealing graph is, can this scale be changed? And is it too late? Do we have to accept this just the way it is, or can we alter the results? The good news is, with preventative care, we can make a big improvement to the line of this scale. Take a look at the blue line on this graph. What happens if we just let nature take its course? And then let's look at the green line of how we can change that with some preventative care. On this green line, you can see where your mobility can actually be held about 75% through the age of 80 years. Alright, now that is what you need, and that is what you want. That is what you want for a family as well. If we're going to be here, we might as well be able to move and function, so why not take the steps necessary to make this happen? Well, one answer you may be thinking is that this is the perfect thing to do if you're young. But what about those of us who already experienced pain? What if you're already past 50 years old? Is it too late to start? Absolutely not. In fact, I want to congratulate you on getting in here now. It's never too late to do the right thing. We want you to get on track for a great life ahead, and here's how we can do it. The first thing you need to do is follow through with the entire recommendation of care that you were given. The reason I mention following through is because you already lived a long time with the mentality that you only take care of your spine and joints if you are in pain. This means it is going to be easy for you to think when you get out of pain that you no longer need treatments. So listen, if you drop out after pain relief, you are never going to change the results of the scale we just looked at. Pain is always the last to show and the first to go. The only way you can change a scale is to follow through with all 3 phases of your recommended care. Let's take a look at those 3 phases. The first phase is pain relief stage. This is a reminder for some of you, but let's take a review to make sure that we understand the cause of your pain and related health problems. So what we have here is called subluxations, which is a misalignment of the vertebrae that is causing nerve interference. It is pinching the nerve, which can impact many areas and organs of the body, causing a lot of dis-ease in ways that you might never relate to a back problem. Picture it like this. If you ever have hooked up a garden hose and turned on the water, it works perfectly unless there's a twist or a kink in the hose. If the hose has gotten twisted, it stops the flow of water that should be going through the hose. We might call that a subluxation of the hose. In other words, the misalignment of your spine is causing nerve interference or is stopping the flow of messages from the nerves to the organs or body parts, causing back pain and a lot of physical ailments due to the nerve interference. When the nerve interference is removed, the nerve flow is restored and so is your health. So how do we remove this nerve interference? We do this through a series of adjustments. The adjustments generally moves your spine back in alignment and away from the nerve, allowing the body to heal itself. You say, great, I get a series of adjustments that removes the interference, getting rid of pain and the problem. So why can't I just stop after the pain is gone? It is important to emphasize that this is only the first phase of your care, and this alone will never solve your problem or change your mobility scale. We must proceed to phase 2 of care, which is stabilization care. There's a reason why you must not stop your care after you get out of pain. Your spine has actually been misaligned for a long time, and your body has now accepted that misalignment as being correct. Your body actually thinks this is the way it is supposed to be because it has been way so long. Now the body muscles and spine must be retrained. The spine must remain in proper position for long enough time for the body to accept the proper alignment as the norm. This is called stabilization, and this takes time. Unless the spine and joints are retrained with adjustments and kept in proper position for a period of time, your body will naturally pull your spine back into the misaligned condition. So why does it take work and time? Well, let me tell you this for example. Can you go to the gym for one visit to get in shape? Can you lift weights one time and enjoy bigger muscles? We all wish we could go to the gym one time and come out looking like Mr. or Mrs. Olympia, but we all know it can't be done. It takes time and work. To get your musculoskeletal system stabilized, it is going to take some time and a number of treatments, and you will need all of them. Let me ask you this. Did the orthodontist straighten your teeth on the visit, or on your first visit? Of course not. Once again, it took time and work. And even after your teeth were straightened, you kept your braces on for a long time, and you also are probably still wearing your retainer for even longer. In the same way, I have given you a recommendation of care that will not only get you out of pain, but you must follow so that we can get you in a stabilized condition, meaning your body has accepted healthy, proper alignment as a norm for your body. So once we have reached this stabilized condition, we will dismiss you from active care and move you to third phase of your recovery, and this is the maintenance or the preventative stage of your care. You know, I get the most excited about this stage of care because this is where we enable you to change the mobility scale and make a difference in the quality of your life. It isn't enough for us to want to get you out of pain. We want to move you to an opportunity where you can enjoy life. That is what you want, isn't it? The good news is this stage will not require a lot of time or money. It will be simple and affordable. But at the same time, the dividends you paid are in health and life make it well worth the effort. Preventative care is essential towards changing the mobility scale in your lifetime. Even as I'm talking, and I can hear thoughts running through some of your minds. You know, you say, I knew it. I heard before the chiropractor will want you to come back for the rest of your life. Well, maybe you're right. But before you make any judgments, let me ask you a question. What doctor have you been to that said, never come back again? Did you ever go to the dentist and the dentist said, don't come back until your teeth fall out? He or she wouldn't say that because it wouldn't be a malpractice thing. They push you to do the right thing, which is preventative care. Do you remember when you first got your eyes checked, probably around 3rd grade, and they told you, great news, your eyes are fine. So as far as we are concerned, you need never bother again with taking care of your eyes unless, of course, you lose your eyesight altogether. Which in that case, maybe you should come back. I think it's time for you to be honest. There isn't any doctor who has or should recommend that you ignore your health until there's a problem. No doctor could recommend that you never come back, and we certainly can't either because it wouldn't be what you need to enjoy life. Be assured, we don't want you to come in any more times than you have to. Our adjusting rooms are as full as is, And the purpose of our recommendation of care is to change that mobility scale of your life. We can't remove wrinkles or make your teeth stay white, but we can enable you to move so you can work, play, and stay young for your first 100 years. I realize I might sound really passionate about this subject, and I get anxious about everyone experiencing the benefits of chiropractic care. But let me just give you one short reason why I am so passionate about this. I've seen a number of patients come through our door, and recently we had a young child who was unable to have a bowel movement. And after a few weeks, they had a bowel movement from adjustments. So that's something that really makes me passionate about this. And now, right about this time, you should be thinking, hey, wait, before you quit, I do care about my health and the future health of my family. I have family and friends that I know have never thought about or really known that kind of information that we've been talking about tonight. So what about their health and their mobility scale? Is there anything I can do about that? The answer is absolutely. You should know that it's never too soon to start. In fact, even a newborn child has already experienced great trauma to the spine during childbirth and should be examined. When you think about the tremendous pressure that is put on the spine during childbirth, I think it is easy for you to see we actually start our lives with untreated problems. Obviously, your family needs to come in and be evaluated for a simple, easy, and healthy plan toward preventing a life of immobility. The good news is, with a little preventative care, we can eliminate much of their pain and management in later years. So this will be one of the best investments you can take in their retirement years. They must be able to move. To illustrate how sincere we are about preventive care, I have asked my assistant here to help me help you. And she's right in the back over there. She has our appointment book scheduled with her right now with available times for you and your family. And as I said, we want you to put their health and future ahead of everything else. So to show you how serious we are about this, we will, to bring your family and friends to have a complete first day service, which includes x-rays and exams if necessary, for a total cost of $40. And that $40 is then donated to a Make-A-Wish Foundation if you go ahead and schedule them tonight. This kind of allows them to get started with the preventative care and see for themselves how much it can mean to their health without it being a cost issue. To take advantage of this opportunity, though, you have to schedule with my assistant tonight here. Since I know you don't know their schedule, I will tell you that if you give them a time to schedule, it becomes impossible for them to make. They can always call and we can reschedule because they're already on the books and it won't require an explanation or arrangements other than a new time. So, I want to thank you all for coming out tonight, and I hope you enjoyed it, and remember to stay young your first 100 years. Thank you.